Hola clase! This is lesson 4 of Spanish 1A, first semester, beginning level Spanish. And the story today is Roger the Romantic Part 4. In today's story, Roger's an extroverted guy who talks a lot to the ladies and goes around in the evening to their houses asking for their phone numbers. Roger es muy extrovertido. No es tímido. Roger habla mucho con las señoritas y con las señoras. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa de Charlotte. Roger le dice, Buenas noches, Charlotte. Charlotte le dice, Buenas noches, Roger. Roger le dice, ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Charlotte le dice, Sí, Roger, mi teléfono es, y le da su teléfono. Roger está muy contento. Roger le dice, Nos vemos, Charlotte. At the end of today's lesson, you're going to be able to understand everything I just said. Plus, read it, write it, and say it. Let's look at the objectives. First, we're going to learn a new set of vocab. We're going to use that vocab to learn the story about Roger Part 4. This is the last Roger story, by the way. Then we're going to have a question and answer session in Spanish. Then you're going to have a reading to read and translate of the story to see how well you understood it by yourself, and then you're going to check it with me. Lee y traduce. La gramática, the grammar today, is on tú and usted, the two ways to say you in Spanish. So we're going to learn when to use which one. And then el quiz on the vocab and the grammar to see how well you learned it. So grab your workbook and let's get started. We are in Jalen Waltman's Complete Spanish Course 1A workbook. If you don't have the workbook yet, please take notes on your own paper or in a spiral notebook of some sort. We're on lesson 4. Looks like this. Should be on page 39 of your workbook. All right, a new vocab list for today. The first phrase is no es tímido. No es tímido. No es tímido, it means is not shy. Is not shy. How can you remember tímido for shy? Does it remind you of the word timid? Yes, it's related to the word timid. Él es muy extrovertido. He, do you remember this word he? We learned it last lesson. It has an accent mark on it, on the E. That same word also means the. So L with no accent mark is the. It's the masculine definite article singular. But with the accent mark, like this, it means he. In spoken Spanish, you just have to be able to tell that in context. Él es muy extrovertido. He is very outgoing. What does the word extrovertido remind you of? If you're thinking extroverted, you're right. So someone who's extroverted or an extrovert as opposed to an introvert. An introvert would be the tímido person, a person who's not outgoing. Habla mucho. Talks a lot. Habla means talks. Mucho, a lot, or much. It's related to our word much. You can remember habla because it reminds you of blah, blah, blah. Habla. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa de. In the evening, noche also means night. Roger goes to so-and-so's house. Literally the house of. Le dice buenas noches. Says to him or her, good evening. You could also say good night, but good evening sounds more like a greeting in English, so I'm going to use evening. If you're telling somebody good night and as a goodbye, buenas noches works. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Okay, ¿cuál? Literally, it means which. let's put that in parentheses, that's what it literally means. We need to say, what is your phone? And in Spanish, you can just say, ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? You don't have to say phone number. So phone number is understood. Which, ¿cuál? The reason why Spanish is using ¿cuál here instead of ¿qué for what is because there's a limited number of phone numbers. Which one is yours? They're going to use which in a lot more situations than what we do in English, where in English we would tend to just say what. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? What, same thing, which or what. What is your phone number? Okay, what's the difference between these two? Think about some things I've been teaching you. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono and cuál es su teléfono? One of them is formal and one of them is informal. Which one do you think is informal? And which one do you think is informal and why? If you're thinking this one, for the informal, you're correct. Tu is the informal your. Tu with an accent mark on the U means you. You is a subject pronoun. Tu without the accent mark is a possessive. Tu. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Su is your formal. So this one's informal, this one is formal. They both mean what's your phone number. Nos vemos. Nos vemos, it literally means we'll see each other. Let's translate it. See you. Literally, actually, it means us, we see. We see us, in other words. So we'll see each other, something like that. Okay, let's write and draw the vocab. Let's put no es tímido, not shy, very outgoing. That's kind of going to be the same picture. Let's just do tímido, somebody who's tímido. So the tímido guy is going to be here. Kind of sweating. And back here in the back, just draw a girl trying to talk to him. So this will be tímido. He's tímido. He's shy, sweating because a girl's trying to talk to him. Él es muy extrovertido. Let's put the extrovertido guy over here. So this is going to be two girls. And he's going over talking to them. So this one is, él es muy extrovertido, él es tímido. He's shy. Habla mucho, somebody who talks a lot. I'm going to put my habla mucho guy up here. We'll do one hand like that because he's going on and on. And give him like 4 speech bubbles. He talks a lot. Habla mucho. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa de. Okay, it's noche. Let's put that here. A moon and some stars. Here's Roger's hat with a feather. And do his feet going in a certain direction. And back here in the background, somebody's house. So, por la noche, Roger va a la casa will be that one. Le dice buenas noches. Let's see, let's put le dice buenas noches down here. So here's Roger's hat. We need the moon in the sky again to show ourselves that it's nighttime. Put her house in the background. So this one will be le dice buenas noches. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Asking an informal person or a casual person, somebody who's his same age, what their phone number is. Let's put it up here. We'll do Roger again because you know this is Roger. Okay, there he's asking a question, so I'm doing the arms like that for asking a question. Here's his speech bubble. Okay, so in the speech bubble, let's just draw. I don't want to put words. That's supposed to be a phone. Okay, so ¿cuál es tu teléfono? What's your phone number to the girl? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? What is your phone number formal? Let's put the formal what's your number down here. So you got Roger. He's asking. Got the question hand arms again. And then over here, you know who? La Señora Doubtfire. With her little high heels and her pearls. And then over here, do the phone again. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? What's your number to a formal person? And then the last one we need is nos vemos, see you. Let's put it here in the middle and the bottom. So his feet are going to be walking away. And she's going back in the house. So he's going away. That's going to be nos vemos. I don't like how I did the arms. I should have done this. There, that looks better. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. I got it kind of messy there with whiteout, but you get the idea. Okay. All right, so very good. Let's learn these words. Now for this next part, I want you to cover up the words that you have up here. So all you have is the pictures and my voice. You're going to point at the picture that you think I'm saying in Spanish and try to stay ahead of the green arrow. Okay, which picture means tímido? Él es tímido. Point at it. You should have this one. He's tímido, he's shy. Él es muy extrovertido. Él es muy extrovertido. Where's the extroverted guy? Here. Habla mucho. Habla mucho. That's this guy. He's talking a lot. This is all his talking. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa de someone. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. I'm just going to say Roger va a la casa. This one. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. Le dice buenas noches. Le dice buenas noches. This is him saying good evening, a greeting. Nos vemos is going to be this one, the goodbye. Okay, so le dice buenas noches is going to be this one. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? This one, because she's a tu. The word for her in Spanish would be tu, because she's informal to him. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Will be this one. She's an usted, so you need su instead of tu, the informal you. So, ¿cuál es su teléfono? Nos vemos. Nos vemos. That is going to be this one. It means see you. Habla mucho. Habla mucho. Él es muy extrovertido. Él es muy extrovertido. Él es tímido. Él es tímido. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. Nos vemos. Nos vemos. Le dice buenas noches. Le dice buenas noches. Él es tímido. Él es muy extrovertido. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Habla mucho. Nos vemos. Le dice buenas noches. Él es muy extrovertido. Habla mucho. Le dice buenas noches. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Nos vemos. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Okay, muy bien. Okay, let's write the words under the pictures. This first one is upside down question mark. ¿Cuál? There's an accent mark on the A. Es tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Teléfono also has an accent mark on that E, so you'll say teléfono instead of teléfono. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Tu, because she's around his same age. This one is at night or in the evening, Roger goes to the house of someone. Por la, how do you say night or evening? Noche. Roger goes is what? Va a la casa. Whoops. Casa. Dang it. White out again. Okay. Casa de ... someone. Here we have habla mucho. He talks a lot. This one is he is very outgoing. El, accent mark on the E, es muy extrovertido. Él es muy extrovertido. He's very extroverted. He's very outgoing. This one, tímido. And tímido has an accent mark on this I. So if I say someone no es tímido, that would be this guy. No es tímido. Which is actually how it's phrased in our vocab set, but no es tímido. But this one es tímido. This one is le dice, he says, good evening. Buenas. I cannot write today for anything. Okay. Buenas noches. Hope you can read that. Le dice buenas noches. Here I have the goodbye. Nos vemos. See you, or literally we'll see each other, we see us. Okay, and then that one. ¿Cuál, accent mark on the A, es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Accent mark on this E. Hay un muchacho. El muchacho se llama Roger. Roger es muy, muy romántico. Roger es muy guapo. Tiene flores románticas y música romántica de Celine Dion. Roger no es tímido. Roger es muy extrovertido. Roger habla mucho. Roger habla mucho con las señoritas y las señoras. Por la noche, Roger va a la casa de Charlotte. Roger le dice, buenas noches, Charlotte. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Charlotte le dice, sí, Roger. Mi teléfono es... y le da su teléfono. Roger le dice, nos vemos. Y va a la casa de Francine. Roger habla mucho con Francine. Roger le dice, buenas noches, Francine. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? Francine le dice, sí, Roger, mi teléfono es... y le da su teléfono. Roger le dice, nos vemos, Francine. Roger está muy, muy contento porque tiene los teléfonos de dos señoritas. Roger va a la casa de la señora Doubtfire. Roger le dice, buenas noches, señora. La señora Doubtfire le dice, buenas noches, Roger. Roger le dice, ¿cuál es su teléfono? La señora Doubtfire le dice, sí, mi teléfono es... y le da su teléfono. Roger le dice, hasta luego, señora. La señora Doubtfire le dice, oh, Roger. Roger le dice, sí. La señora Doubtfire le dice, llámame. Roger está muy, muy contento. Fin. Let's write the story of Roger the Romantic, Part 4. El cuento de, the story of Roger el Romántico, exit mark on this A, Parte 4. This is the last Roger story. Okay, we're starting off with, there's a guy, his name is Roger. He's outgoing, he's not timid. Actually, let's leave off, there's a guy, blah, 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 because there's a lot to write here. Let's say, Roger no es, and how do you say shy? Tímido. Tímido has an accent mark on this I. That makes you say tímido instead of timido. Él es, he's very outgoing. How do I say very? Muy extrovertido. Es muy extrovertido. He talks a lot. How do you say it? Habla mucho. At night, he goes to Charlotte's house. Or in the evening. Por la evening, night, what is it? Noche. Roger va a la casa de Charlotte. Y le dice, buenas noches. What's your phone number? ¿Cuál? ¿Cuál has an accent mark on the A? Es tu teléfono. Why tu instead of su? Because she's approximately his same age. She's a señorita. He doesn't have to call her ma'am or Mrs. So, ¿cuál es tu teléfono? The informal one. Okay, so Charlotte le da su teléfono. She gives him her phone number. Let's see, this one, I'm gonna get nos vemos here. Okay, so Francine también means also. Le da su teléfono. She also gives him her number. Now, I used su here. I realize, she's informal, but su means her. It also means you're formal. So I can't say tu because that would mean Francine also gives him your number. we aren't saying that. We're saying her number. So here it means hers. Roger says, le dice, and then how do you say see you or we'll see each other? Le dice, nos vemos. Wow, I wrote that way too close together. Okay, and here Roger's happy. Roger está contento. He's got these two numbers, so he's happy. But not happy enough. Va a la casa de la señora Doubtfire. Okay, we're abbreviating. Señora, that is the abbreviation for señora, and then just doubtfire is just going to be DF. Okay. Here, Roger says, good evening, what's your number? Roger le dice, buenas noches, señora. Upside down question mark. ¿Cuál, accent mark on the A, es su teléfono? Roger le dice, buenas noches, señora. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Here, the su means your. Now, how can I tell the difference? You're going to see su in a whole, I mean, it could be his, her, it could be your. You're going to see it in a whole bunch of different ways. You have to tell in context what it means. But it works out. It works out okay. Okay, here, for some reason, he says hasta luego in my speech bubble there instead of nos vemos. But so Roger le dice hasta luego. La señora Doubtfire le dice, oh, Roger. La señora Doubtfire le dice, oh, Roger. ... Llámame. Now, do you know what that means? This needs an accent mark on it too, actually. Llámame, llámame. What does it mean? Do you remember what llama means? He or she calls? Okay, so she's saying, call me. Okay, so let's say over here, Roger está súper contento. I swear something is wrong with me today. I cannot write. Okay, contento. There we go. It's time to ask and answer questions about this story in Spanish. ¿Cómo se llama el muchacho? ¿Cómo se llama, clase? ¿Cómo se llama? Se llama Roger. ¿Dónde está el muchacho? At the beginning of the story, ¿dónde está el muchacho? Está, that's supposed to be an S, and let's just say he's at his house. En su casa. Está en su casa. He's at his house. ¿A dónde va el muchacho? Where does he go? To where does he go? Va. What's the first place he goes in this version? Va a la casa de Charlotte. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué va, clase? ¿Por qué va? ¿Por qué? Because, all one word. No es tímido. He's not shy. Es extrovertido. I'm adding on because I'm trying to get all my words in here. Y habla mucho. Okay. ¿Qué tiene el muchacho? ¿Qué tiene Roger? Tiene flores y what else? Música. ¿Qué le dice el muchacho? What does he say to Charlotte? Le dice buenas noches. And then how will I say, what's your number to Charlotte? ¿Cuál? Here's an accent mark on the A. Es tu or su? tu teléfono? ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? ¿A quién? To whom? A Charlotte. ¿Qué quiere el muchacho? ¿Qué quiere? What does he want? Quiere su teléfono. Now, I said you didn't have to say telephone number, but you could. You could say, quiere su número de teléfono. I could say it that way. Quiere su número de teléfono. Totally works. ¿Qué ve el muchacho? What does he see? Ve a dos señoritas. Señoritas has a tilde on the end, so you'll say señoritas instead of senoritas. Y a una señora. Also has a tilde on the end. ¿Está el muchacho contento al final? Sí. Está muy contento. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué está contento? ¿Por qué? How will we say he has 3 phone numbers? He has starts with a T. What is it? Tiene los teléfonos. Teléfonos has an accent mark on this E. Porque tiene los teléfonos de 3. I guess we need to say mujeres. Mujeres, it means women. Because I can't say chicas, and I can't say señoritas, and I can't say señoras. So let's go with mujeres. ¿Quién es tu personaje favorito en el cuento? Who's your favorite character in this story? Mi personaje favorito es Roger. Because he's a beast. Lee y traduce. Read and translate. Read this story and write the English translation under the Spanish line by line. El muchacho que llama por teléfono y habla mucho. The guy who calls on the phone and talks a lot. Hay un muchacho, there's a guy, se llama Mike, his name is Mike. I'll get you started. You can abbreviate Mike. You can abbreviate Nelly, just with an N. Any names down here we have Blabby. Blabby is going to be B. You can abbreviate. You're going to pause the video and translate this story in your own handwriting under the words, and then unpause the video and we will check it. Go. Okay, we're back. Let's check it. There's a guy, his name is Mike. Mike es muy extrovertido. Mike is very outgoing or extroverted, would be fine if you wrote that. No es tímido. He's not timid, he's not shy. Mike tiene un teléfono celular. Mike, what's tiene? Has a cell phone. Y habla por su teléfono mucho. What does he do a lot? He talks on his phone. Por, I would translate here, is on. Un día, how did you translate that? One day. Mike ve a una muchacha muy bonita. What's ve? He sees a very pretty girl. Mike le dice, hola, ¿cómo te llamas? Mike says, hi, what's your name? How do you call yourself is what this literally says. La muchacha le dice, me llamo Nelly. The girl says, my name is Nelly. Mike le pregunta, Mike asks, ¿cuál es tu teléfono? I mean, he just jumps right in there, right? Mike asks, what's your phone number? Nelly le da su número de teléfono. Nelly gives him her number of phone number. Mike está muy contento. Mike is very happy. Por la mañana, Mike llama a Nelly por teléfono y le dice buenos días. In the morning, Mike calls Nelly on the phone and says good morning or good day. Por la tarde, Mike llama a Nelly y le dice buenas tardes. In the afternoon, he calls Nelly and says good afternoon. At night, por la noche, Mike llama a Nelly por teléfono y le dice buenas noches. Mike habla y habla y habla. So he calls her at night and says good evening, and then he talks and talks and talks. Nelly grita, Mike, Mike, pero Mike habla más y más. She yells, Mike, Mike, did you get this word? What did you guess for this? It means but. B-U-T, but. Mike talks more and more. Nelly tiene una idea. She has an idea. Nelly tiene una amiga extrovertida que se llama Blabby. What kind of friend is this? She has this friend who's what? Outgoing. Whose name is Blabby. Blabby tiene un teléfono celular. Blabby has a cell phone. Nelly le da el número de teléfono de Mike a Blabby. Who gets whose number here? Nelly gives the number of phone of Mike to Blabby. Okay? So we would say Nelly gives Mike's number to Blabby. Blabby no es tímida. Blabby, is she shy? No, she's not shy. She's Blabby. Blabby no es tímida. She's not shy. Blabby llama a Mike por teléfono celular y habla y habla y habla y habla. 4 hablas. Blabby calls Mike on the cell phone and talks and talks and talks. Mike no está contento, isn't happy. The end. La gramática. Let's learn about tú and usted. We've been talking about these. Here's the formal lesson on these, okay? In Spanish, there are 2 ways to say you, a more formal way and a less formal way. The formal way, usted, is used to show respect to elders, people in authority, and people you don't know. The less formal way, tú, is for your family, friends, pets, and people you may not know who are your age or younger than you. Examples, tú eres mi amigo. You are my friend. Usted es mi profesor. You are my teacher. You are my friend. You are my teacher. But in Spanish, 2 ways to say you. Very confusing for English speakers. We're not used to having 2 ways to say you. Sure, we have Mr. and Mrs., but that's not exactly the same thing, right? 2 ways to say you. We would translate both of these words as you in English. Write tú or usted to show whether you would use tú or usted with that person. Number 1, a 3-year-old boy. Would you call a 3-year-old usted? No. Tú. When tú is the subject you, it has an accent mark on the you. Number 2, número 2, a teenager you don't know. It's a teenager you don't know. I'm assuming that everybody who's watching these lessons is at least a teenager age. So we're going to go with tú. If you're younger than a teenager and it's a teenager you don't know, let's say you're 10 and it's a 17-year-old that you don't know, I think you would still, I feel like a Spanish speaker would still call that person tú because they're not fully an adult. Number 3, an elderly woman on the bus. Elderly, she's elderly and she's just a woman on the bus. If you had to address her, it would be most polite to say usted to that person. Número 4, it's just a girl in line behind you. You would probably call her tú. If she's a girl, she's 14 or something, just a tú, just tú. Number 5, a young lady or a miss. Well, it depends on your age. But again, we're going to assume that everybody here is at least a teenager. In general, you would probably be calling this person a tú. There could be situations where you would want to use usted. It just depends on, there could be. That could go either way, depending. If you're older than young ladies, I would probably go with tú unless I don't know, like I'm thinking of, what if it's a stewardess on an airplane? I might call that person usted. Or let's say it's a female police officer, but she's younger than me. I would call her usted. Does that make sense? Like anyone I would say ma'am to, even if they're younger than me, I would probably say usted. Now, número 6, a mature woman, a Mrs. This is going to be an usted, unless she's your wife or your mom. Número 7, a mature man or a Mr. Also an usted, again, unless it's your dad or your grandpa or your husband. Número 8, a dog. Okay, so tu is for your family, friends, pets. If you're talking to a dog, that dog is going to be a tu to you. I don't care how old the dog is, that dog is a tu. The principal, número nueve, the principal. Okay, the principal at a school, usted. Pretty much. Número 10, your mom. Your mom, you're going to call her tu. Now, I realize there are families that teach their kids to call them, where you have to call your parents, yes ma'am, yes sir. In some families, you only have to do that if you're in trouble. In general, you're still probably going to, Spanish speakers are still going to address their parents as tu in modern times. Número 11, your little brother. Your little brother, he's a tu to you. Número 12, your uncle. Usually your uncle is older than you, but he's your family. So you're probably going to call this person tu. Número 13, the Prime Minister of Spain. Usted. Número 14, a 75-year-old lady at a Justin Bieber concert. Usted. And number 15, your friend's dad. Now, again, it depends. It depends on how close you are with your friend's family. In general, you would probably refer to your friend's dad. You would call him usted, but it is possible that you're so close with your friend's family that you would be calling their dad a tu. El quiz. It's time for the quiz already. ¿Qué día es hoy? ¿Qué día es hoy? Hoy es, guess what, clase? It's not still Friday. It is sábado, Saturday. Sábado, it has an accent mark on this A. ¿Qué día es hoy? Hoy es sábado, Saturday. Maybe you can remember sábado because it's not sabad on Saturday. ¿Qué fecha es hoy? What date is today? Es el 8 de febrero. 8 de febrero. Febrero, not capitalized. Sábado, not capitalized. All right, you have 8 phrases in Spanish to match up with 8 phrases in English. Pause the video and match those up, and then we'll check it. Go. Okay, we're back. Let's see how you did. Número 1, no es tímido. Número 1, letra F. Letra F. Número 2, él es muy extrovertido. Letra H. Letra H. Número 3, habla mucho. Habla mucho, letra B. Letra B. Número 4, por la noche, él va a la casa de... Letra D. Letra D. Número 5, le dice buenas noches. Le dice buenas noches. Letra A. Número 6, ¿cuál es tu teléfono? Número 6, tu teléfono, letra G, informal. Tu, informal. Número 7, ¿cuál es su teléfono? ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Letra C. What is your number? Formal. Su, formal. Letra C. Número 8, nos vemos. Número 8, nos vemos. Letra E. See you. ¿Todo correcto, clase? ¿Todo correcto? Si todo es correcto, escribe un 100. Un 100%. Muy bien. Lesson 4 Grammar Quiz 2 and usted. Write the correct form of you to address the person in each situation below. So either tu or usted would go in each one of these blanks. Pause the video and put your best guess, and then we'll check it. Go. Okay, we're back. Número 1, the governor of your state. I hope you wrote usted. Número dos, your best friend. I hope you wrote tú. There's an accent mark on the U. If you didn't put the accent mark, put that on there. Número tres, your sister. Your sister, I hope you wrote tú. Número cuatro, a teacher at your school. A teacher at your school would be usted. Número cinco, an old man who needs help finding something in your store. This is going to be an usted. ¿Todo correcto, clase? Si todo es correcto, escribe un 100%, 100%. 100 means 100. It's related to centennial, what else? Century, those words. In Spanish, 100. Bonus material, extra practice. Finish the story of Roger Part 4, asking for everyone's phone number below in Spanish without looking back at the activities we did for this lesson. You may either say it out loud or write it down or both. Try to do it on your own before checking it with the translation on the previous pages. It doesn't have to be exact or perfectly correct. Just focus on communicating the message. I encourage you to do both. Go ahead and say it and also write it. And if you want, you can come back later and write it, like after you've had a little bit of time to forget about it, come back and write it. And that will actually solidify it in your brain better. If you can come up with it, let's say 24 to 48 hours between watching this video and then trying to write it, that's really good for your brain. It's really good for it to retain that information. Now, just like I did last time, I'm going to lead you a little bit in saying it. Let's cover up, let's cover up this. And go ahead and practice saying it for me. How do you say there's a guy? You say it out loud. His name is Roger. Okay, Roger, if you know how to say it, say this. Roger is not timid. And in Spanish, you're going to say not is timid. Okay, do you know how to say he is very outgoing and talks a lot? Okay, good. Okay, so at night or in the evening, Roger goes to Charlotte's house. He says, "Good evening." He asks, "What is your phone number?" Charlotte gives him her phone number. Okay. Roger says, "See you." Roger is very happy. Okay, and then bonus points. Roger asks Mrs. Doubtfire, "What is your number?" Okay, I hope you got the "cuál es su teléfono" on that one. Good. And then Mrs. Doubtfire says, "Call me." Okay, muy bien. Roger is very, very happy. Okay, muy bien. Excelente, clase. You finished Lesson 4 of Spanish 1A, the first semester of beginning level Spanish. If you still need to get the workbook, the link is in the description box below. And until next time, nos vemos, clase.